what's up, y'all? You kicking it with the Junkyard Dog or junkyarddogs.com. My name is Tony, for those of you who don't know. So we back in full effect. This is day 10. I did not post yesterday. Why? Because I needed a break. My body was saying no, so I couldn't do it. Anyway, before I jump on the car today, man, we're going to take a trip to U-Pick Parts because I need a few things to finish up. And I think I can find them there. I need a pivot ball for the fork and the bell housing. I need, I'm gonna see if I can get some struts from another Mustang. Cause these ones are toe up and I don't wanna use the 4-cylinder joints. And what else? Maybe some control arms? Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we'll see what we can come up with. Oh, and some mufflers too. I need some exhaust. All right, let's go. All right, let's go around here. We got one. SN95s are like super notorious for being in the yard. Let's see what they got. Got some stock shocks. Yeah. I took the motor out. Crazy. It's got some nice bushings though. For the it's got the urethane bushings I need, and the thicker sway bar links. That might be my first victim, but let's keep looking around. Ooh. What's up, man? All right. Let's see what's going on. All right. What's up, Charlie? Got another Mustang right here. Motor was extracted. We got another one with some nice end links here as well. Take both of those. That's in good shape. Let's see something. Alright, so here's the stick shift car. Hopefully it still has the bell housing. Stick shift car. If it has the bell housing, that means I can get the shift ball out of there, or the not shift ball, but the fork pivot ball out of there. Let's get to it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, bell housing's still in there. Bell's still in there, so hopefully it'll have the shift ball. It can be up out of here. That's dope. Let's get it. All right, so there it is. This little thing is what's been stopping me from putting the bell housing in. All right, let's move on. All right, so that's it. Just needed some sway bar end links. The ones on the SN95 are upgraded. And that's that. And that's it. We could not find any Foxes in there with the struts. So better luck next time. Alright, so we're back at the shop from the junkyard. We got two of the things we needed, but I'm just gonna have to. I could have sworn I had some struts around here, man, but I probably threw them away. Now I know better. But yeah. You know what, let me go check my inventory list. Anyway, before I do that, I'm just gonna show you guys something. So I'm actually working on rebuilding this T5. This is the main shaft for the 4-cylinder swap. So I got a V8 set up with the gears and everything. I ordered some new parts here. So I was just waiting on that to put together. So I'm gonna try to knock that out for the next like hour or so, and then get out of here and head back to the house. Okay, so last night you couldn't see very well, but that's the rotor. The brake pads are finished. There's no way I could really drive it on those, but I'm gonna just put it back together because that's the goal here. Is just to put it back together. And I damaged this. Ball joint, I think. Yeah, I damaged it pretty bad. So I might end up just swapping out the A-arm, but the problem is I think the other one's bent. It's just something to keep in mind. You know, when you're using a pickle fork, you know you're going to damage the joint. So don't use a pickle fork unless you're going to replace the ball joints. Regretting that now. Anyway, let's go. Peace to the homie Pablo. He's letting me use this tool for Maximum Motorsports, a spring installation tool. Oh man, such a great idea, such a great invention. Because this is a super pain in the ass job to do, and I've done it before, and it is not fun at all. That's why I dreaded it actually. But yeah, so basically you take this, super simple. Take it and you put this part here through the hole like that, and it sits in the pocket. And then you put this part, the other part here, on top, just like that, and it sits right in there in the pocket, just like that. Just thread the bolt in just like that. It doesn't even need to be super tight, just enough to hold it in place. And basically you push the arm down, put the spring in kind of standing straight up. And what the problem is usually when I install springs in the past is that this pocket down here is not deep enough to hold the spring in place while it's compressing. It tends to want to pop out this way. Well, this stops that from happening. Even if it's vertical, even if the arm is vertical, it stops it from popping out. And then once it gets to a point, then it slides into the pocket naturally. Great invention. I'm gonna just order one of my own because I'm sure I'm gonna be using this again. So the spring tool that Maximum Motorsports sells is dope for lowering springs, but for stock springs it's still a pain, just period. So let me just adjust these isolators real quick. Boom. Let's see if I can get it to do what I want it to do for me. Okay. Alright. So I'm gonna take the spring. Spring goes up. And like that. And then you gotta. Oh yeah, absolutely. See that? That's what I'm talking about. You see, the spring tool keeps it in place. So when I place a jack under there, it's going to go right into his pocket. But to get it to do that with the stock spring it's a nightmare. So whatever, we're just going to chuck those stock springs. I really wanted to use these springs on my vert, but I'll get my own set from the vert. So yeah, man, let's go. Okay, so something that I noticed off top was this sway bar link is actually thinner than the V8 one. So you guys saw me earlier at the yard pick these ones up with the polyurethane bushings instead of the rubber joints, because these rubber ones are cracked or whatever, and these ones are a little bit more stiff. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these in, and then start putting on the all the other little details. Lock it down. Oh, and let's not forget, change that steering rack, which is gonna be not so fun, but hey, we gotta knock it down. Let's go. So in true Mustang fashion, These bearings are trash. It's got a plastic cage on the outside, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. So these bearings are trash. The inner bearing is bad. It won't even let the rotor press all the way on. And then this front one here is plastic, and it's kind of, you know, falling apart. I don't trust that. So I'm gonna go by Jones Brothers tomorrow, get some new bearings pressed in, and we get these rotors ready. Maybe turn them too, and get some pads. Cause look at the pads, they're bad. Look at the pads. All right. So let's go to the other side and get the spring in. At least get it to this stage, and go from there. All right. So underneath here, I know you probably can't see too much. Hold on, let me get some right here. All right, so we got the steering rack loose, which has a significantly different steering ratio than the V8 version. So I loosened the two rack mount bolts, and then or the nuts with the bolt, and then there's one 11 millimeter tightening, I guess you'd say, like a bolt, pinch bolt that holds the rack to the steering wheel. So I loosened all that, so we're just getting ready to drop this out. Let me see if I can do it with one hand. The moment of, there we go. I'm gonna have to play around here. Well, yeah, there it is, coming out. Okay, so there it is. The V8 steering rack is in. Cool. So I don't got to worry too much about the connections and whatnot. But yeah, everything's in there. So as far as suspension goes, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and, I didn't bolt these on like all the way. That's why I didn't put the brakes on, because in these new pads, and clearly looks like these disc brakes are in desperate need to be turned. So I'm gonna see if it's thick enough. It almost looks like it isn't, and I might have to get new ones, which I'm really hoping not. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, fellas, so that's the progress for today. I think the only thing else I might do, I might squeeze in, is put in the bell housing, which is over here. There's the bell housing past the old gold. I put this gold paint only because it's all I had left in the shop. And then I put a clear coat on the inside here. And the reason why is to seal the aluminum. So if it gets all greasy, or like, let's just say the main seal goes bad or whatever, they come with a pressure washer and it comes right clean. All right? Just because if you didn't know, now you know. Past the old gold. That's it right there. So you want to put a lot of clear on the bottom, and this is the clear I use right here. It's really hard, and for some weird reason, which I'm sure Rust-Oleum did not calculate this, grease and oil do not penetrate through this. It's weird. It's cheap, but it's good. $3 a can. Okay. Boom. Give it a nice little shine. Alright, it's probably the cleanest part that's gonna go into this car. Alright, so later on I'm gonna go ahead and get back to the shop and start and keep messing with that T5 I was showing you guys earlier. Because I want to kind of get that in, get the drive shaft in, which is right here. I had a new yoke put on and then a new U-joint. I did not do the joint back here. But it was a spicer joint, and it's still pretty fluid and feels really good, so I'm not going to change it. So there it is, fellas. Another day 10. Yeah, getting closer. Suspension is back together, thank God. I was trying to get them stock springs in, and that was a thumbs down. My God, stock springs are terrible. Don't even bother putting them things back in. But anyway, yeah, man, that's it. So I'm gonna catch y'all in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and go pick Chuck up and call it a day, man. All right, see y'all tomorrow. Peace.